Drifting, seeking past you, and tomorrow every day is looking no further than the future than the horizon would give you foundations collaborating with the sun. And this is your collaboration, the communicate with this is the universe, and this is the flowers of the verse of the spies that for the truth, they give the yellow with the colors, so that you can find the daisy between the pavement. Seek that for the hour, will not find the consultation, you can find the vibration. This is going to find the seem to be important enough to either the heap of the venom or being without it, or you can find yourself living the hate of the dawn. Drifting, seeking past you, and tomorrow every day is looking no further than the future than the horizon would give you foundations collaborating with the sun. This is your collaboration, the code. Communicate with this is the universe, and this is the flowers of the verse of the spies that for the true pick of the yellow with the colors, so that you can find the daisy between the pavement. Seek that for the hour, will not find the consultation, that you can find liberation, and this is going to find seem to be important enough for the ether, the heap of the venom, or being without it, or you can find yourself living the hate of the dawn, the strange. And thinking enough of the fates and the emergent under destruction, for that you could be the peer for the somewhat you can find the love of the right here within the water, for the instant, for the flower, for the be the box in the front. Understanding for that you can be until that last gas station ran out of nothing but you believe it's for the city, for the house, you can find everything that you thought, for the insightful, for the little was in the air. If anybody cared for the care, for the despair, for the where in the world, you can find the outlet for the waiting of the daylight, for the project before hit the bird with the mouth of the tent, you can be the bird without the color, for the air so dry enough that you could thought it might crack open. Then why? Open your mouth. So it's words for soul. From here to be, this will be the A to B for their students. Time for the detective, the you can find the moonlight to live by honesty with the otherwise room. Sidetrack for the season of detail. Water dripping from Eden. Beginning for the bird seeds you feed from. Declare that to be the hostess of the nest. Afraid to still prefer that for over the lips of delicacy. You have for whatever reason you find the twisting of the old roses. Along the street, the bank of such around the rain and rain. It's introspective enough to explain to that detective. It was the colors used by your water. I wanna find the colors used by your earth. Sunk down for the low and rising. So far within itself, a bird coming back. Moisten your strip of water for the cloud of ash. Identical how to your powder sun. Not in me for the engine if you can work and find the pedals. Not papery fragile than that for to be the color. My eyes will reach the color for the all color for everyone together. No one will see in me ever again. I turned into the sky and then it was all blue. The color of singing me and you. Yet it was many blues and subtle tones of stubble and Moses' sunken cheek. I can find the next verse with the continue. Maybe it was just the tones of the poetry in me. You were so addicted to the feeling for the not feeling them. And told one note about the clamp that was inside. Around the pavement him against the blood for trash and you know it. But I gone too far for the God you now for the wasting in your wooden hair. I saved this for the better, for the cleaning, for the beetle cleaned up and sharp at the tip, for the finger that shifted inside your face, and you set for the face of the front of the hand for the smoothing of your hair. And make a fist with the wrap that too, but around your fleshy arm pull that black weapon. You find the time for enough that you can finally find the sludge of your accumulation of mouth that you can poison me, for the within your finger the bone for the tasting of the beauty, for the sweet insurgent you'll find your clear honey. Who's that for the waiting in the long inside your veins? And maybe it was not waiting too long that would be in vain. And this is the place of what I searched, the drinking that caught up in the plans. And though the view and road with the road for the words of patch. It was to commensurate to the ways of them find her hands. And you to see him having a good time, but the feeling the same as everything was alive. Trying to deny for the being the beautiful acting. You were not so young and not so quite beautiful. I think this is to be the end. And remember then for the only spilling of the news, and you can find it lit. Be between or here to blow for the glow for the field room, and piercing you in which you find the dense close in which you swept the new song. So long to the phone for the view, for the rich and the life, for the looking into the befriended with the equations. Fresh after the owner to train yourself for the wonder of the one song game, but the only night for the ending of the early end. Nothing is stranger than ever, rather than now you're down. For the spoken sense of the point of it, you can find it, remembering you last. Had the good news of the stirring of the goodbye, for the click, you can find the latching of the quiet place. Shot me, all frills to be fine for me, particularly since it's been an age since we've been together that time. It would be ages and you can find it between the midst of a rhyme. And you can get an aerial view to climb that behind the corner perspective to get the sight, the source sight. It was a source sight for the edge and stuff to carry out your walk for the quick time. Quick lime enough for the thought for you gonna, but the hitch and nothing said to be poor. Sad to self, the same old words you can find for the telling to come hither, but you can come tramping it through that half-life of the Forbes, and you have an idea for the good for the paper. You can find that for the crossroads. Somehow each way dismissal for the imbecile. How to find a way for the able the curbs is on define the term, but I never mind for you could just go for the ghost and get myself for the never soon to be rid of it. And I'm sending your way for the stripping down of your weeds and other to death for the hallway really crime is serious and the unfortunate events that you have left me. Darkness riding in the bird for the cherry, but you can find the heart, and I'm no longer to be involved in. To solve than it was to find the question. The question is whether or not you have the sorrow for the scene that it was grief. The grief for the only find the answer. It was the rest of enough for the informative that you find the grief. This is the crust and knife, the rocks, the red. Throwing the punch to the lead, the leaf. For the sorrow it's not desert. For the wind will endure your. For the footing and what you can have the halt, and you can find another, but then more. Then another for the foundation, collaborating you and yourself. It would be three or more. The couple so you can find it on with a few. Even the odds that we can manage to find it cheaply as one. Half of the view, then you can find it what you can say more. One thing to split that for the difference in the body and difference in passion for it. But your eyes turning dust, and through those eyes now filled with that for the light of nature. Pacing on the high walk, we catch an evening step at the fort marks of what you give out breath. The crystal drop is for the green prayer. You built for the bench of the sight, for the perceived astonished. Maybe for the lake spread, for the precipitous in the mirror. Your corporate heels, a sense of eyes turned out for the inward. Cause there was light dimming and unburned. A light climbing rock, be filled with the acid shower. Glacier waves, yo, ebb and flow. And the scene you know, pristine as an is the thinning water was sore. Monsters, the plain sight, flame and smoke, obscure vision of spikes, and you can through the into the mind. Voice of the prophet, the fall of the vacant, of the those with the walking within me. Then voice of the grass and grass, the screenings beneath the feet. For this to be the down to ground, for the ground, for the rock, for the rock, for the growing. Striations and smooth for the rough, for the weather shapes, and you can find the empress in the infinite forms of beauty. Patterning minerals and constructions of fire and light for the fuse to element. You can find that joint conjoined and eternity for the silence, for the never the stone to give your tongue. See, they know to feel. Gave my wound to show the love. Look in my hand and find the weed. Your one for the green and fingers are drying. Sprouted a piece of mind for the dark makes rooted for the out boots, and then you can breathe that pure air for the only the stone gives that tone for the scene to know to feel for the giving the wound the tone of love. It's a stone that lets to look for the thigh for the breast, the brushes and falling to stalk for the break. Seamless enough for the butts, the pink, rose petal, red, purple for the flowers and fox love, and a continuously grown for the each stage of life for the left. The only to leave the art to this define the silence for the storm with the part for the tongue. To see note to the high, the note to feel. Gave my wound for the phone, the stone to love. This is where I stand for the wash, you get water. Your time for the ground and black down to find the beam between the modes, divide the border for the coal, the gold, the real for the silver, for you can not wave to the stream. Casking down past my trunk for the outstretching of the branches of the silence in your tongue will sound. See to know how I feel. Since that, but I wait for the yours. See for the be raising of the hand beyond that, a star with a deep and a never ending night. And I find the sight for the orb for the host of heaven, your jewel. Whose queen can heal the earth for the sea can never feel the herself for the darkness to be rendered. And now my silence in the stone that gives that tongue. I see to know for the know to feel. I wound the stone and who's the love? There is the flow. Everyone knows in which way to plane a tale of pain. Who can tell it one apart in plain sight? I can never define your pieces of the mind. I wish I could tell you slower than you can comprehend. Maybe it was ever fulfilling. It was the colorless colors that used by water. What else can I say but your eyes turn to dust, and through those eyes now filled with after the light? What else can I say but your eyes turn to dust, and through those eyes now filled with after the light of nature? Pacing on the high walk, we catch an evening step at the fort marks of what you give evaporate the crystal droplets for the green prayer. You built for the bench of the sight for the perceived astonished. Maybe for the lake spread for the precipitous in the mirror. Your corporate heels, a sense of eyes turned down for the inward. Cause there was light dimming and unburned. A light climbing rock to be filled with the acid shower. Glacier waves, yo, ebb and flow. And the scene you know, pristine as an is of the thinning water but sore. Monsters, the plain sight, flame and smoke, obscure vision of spikes, and you can through the into the mind. Voice of the prophet, the fall of the vacant for the those with the walking within me. Then voice of the grass and grass is springing beneath the feet. For this to be the down to ground, for the ground, for the rhyme, for the rhyme, for the growing. Striations of the smooth, for the rough, for the weather shapes, so you can find the empress in the infinite forms of beauty. Patterning minerals and constructions of fire and life and infused to element. You can find that joint conjoined in eternity for the silence and the never the stone to give your tongue. The seed, they know the feel. Gave my wound to show the love. Look in my hand and find the weed. Your one for the green and fingers to grind. Yo, espouse to the piece of the mind for the dark 19. The root of the eye boots, and you can breathe that pure air for the only the stone gives that tongue for the seam to know the feel for the giving the wound, the tone, the love. The stone. That peace of mind was never to the foe. You're too many alternatives to only have that lost within the never the first. So many things you come from, but not came too late. After all, for the afterlife, and I love that for the we're woven into tapestry in your own existence. And I care not about your lost words. You're lost first, but I will flight. And knuckles of bloody and teeth are sharpened for those who tasted death for the old first. So to put them rest in this society below the dirt for the ashes of all for those that want to burn through. Take them, but I'll give me last. Of course you were misunderstood. But the feeling of the magic and you will believe it last. It'll be the last thing you believe. That peace of mind was never to the foe. You're too many alternatives to only have that lost within the never the first. So many things you come from, but not came too late. After all, for the afterlife, and I love that for the we're woven into tapestry in your own existence. And I care not about your lost words. You're lost first, but I will flight. And knuckles of bloody and teeth are sharpened for those who tasted death for the old first. So to put them rest in this society below the dirt for the ashes of all for those that want to burn through. Take them, but I will give me last. Of course you were misunderstood. Put the feeling in the magic and you will believe it last. It will be the last thing you believe. I just wanna confess I love you without knowing how. When, from where, I love you straightforward. Without complexity, surprise. I love you because I know there's no other way than this. Where do I does not exist, nor you. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand. So close that your eyes are closed if I fall asleep. It is happiness to wonder what it happens to dream. I'm proud of the scars of my soul they remind me of. I have an intense life and there's only you. Nothing can be done but it's called yesterday to others tomorrow. Today is the right day to love because you do mostly is live. And I always want to seem to be me, not the people around me. So someone because they're pretty enough for the pickering you can find after the base and beauty. Courage to take the risk, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity to sacrifice, ironically, the virtues. Make them vulnerable enough for the altar to boom. So sometimes you throw it and you can find the dream. And I will never be able to escape from your heart for this just to be the better for the listening to what it has to say. For I can find that from you who grow for the lonely and or the darkness of the life that you can on their own being. I don't want to wander too far away from I promise you I will try harder for to be better for the better and give myself and I'm talking to be for the inside of the longer days to be home. I do not know what the weather or not, but they are for the only know how I feel and they can be manageable enough for the repeatable when I'm going around you. You are the fragments and the piece of my soul. I just want to remind you I love you. There's no meaning in sense to find the ways to place the hesitance and you could be refraining up your main remain maybe your friend your memory the brother I could be another brother that you can never see. Be the C-I and not for the alphabetically ordered the cast of spells of those that dictated for the moments to find the dictionary. It was an only to find the prayer. That place of peace of mind. I don't want to hold your breath. I just want to be understood. Listen to you. Be able to communicate. Erratically, we find ways of love.
I just wanna confess I love you without knowing how. When and where. I just wanna confess I love you without knowing how. When and where. I love you straightforward, without complexity, surprise. I love you because I know there's no other way than this. Where do I does not exist, nor you. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand. So close that your eyes are closed if I fall asleep. It is happiness to wonder what it happens to dream. I'm proud of the scars on my soul, they remind me I have an intense life and there's only you. Nothing can be done when it's called yesterday to others tomorrow. Today is the right day to love because mostly is good. I always want to seem to look me, not the people around me, see someone because they're critic enough to pick on you. To find out the debates you do. Courage to take the risk, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity to sacrifice, ironically the virtues. Make them vulnerable enough for the altar to boom. So sometimes it's short and you can find a dream. And I will never be able to escape from your heart, for this to be the better for listening to what I has to say, for I can find out through the growth, the lonely, and the darkness of the life that you can on their own being. I don't want to wander too far away, for I promise I would try harder to be better for the battle with myself, and I'm talking to you for the inside of the longer days to be home. I do not know what I'd rather when I but they are for the only know how I feel, and able to be manageable enough to be feasible when I'm going around. All the fragments and pieces of my soul, I just want to remind you that I love you. There's no meaning or sense to find a base, a place that has a tense, and you could be your friend, be up, remain, maybe your friend, your memory, your brother. I can make another brother that you can never be. B, the C, I, and my the alphabetical order to cast the spells of those dictated for the moments to find the dictionary. It was only to find the prayer. Place of peace of mind. I don't want to hold you, but I just want to understand.
got to be the hostess of the nest. Afraid to still prefer that.